Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. So let's talk about an updated list, I guess, of the current problems with the new Toyota Tacoma. This is a 2025 TRD Sport. And number one, and this is one, all of these actually are problems that I hear a lot about on the Facebook group. If you haven't checked that out, have a look. It's 4th generation Toyota Tacoma owners group over on Facebook. But I see a lot of comments about these there and on the channel as well. Number one, fuel economy. You know, I think particularly with the hybrids in the 4th gen Tacoma, everybody thought that they were making it a hybrid so that it got better fuel economy, right? Not really true. The hybrid's purpose, it seems, is just to provide more power, more torque, more maybe towing ability, hauling ability, whatever. But it certainly was not ever to get better fuel economy. Now, here is the sticker from mine. And you can see this is what Toyota is reporting. 20 miles per gallon city, 24 highway, and a combined 22 miles per gallon. Now, on my truck, I am getting a whopping right around 17 to 17.3. Kind of seems to be where I'm wavering right now. So certainly not 20, definitely not 24. Now I will say most of my driving is done on city type environments, right? So I'm not out on the freeway bumping up those numbers. But it is interesting to me. I see a lot of folks reporting crazy numbers over on the group, especially 26. I've seen as high as 31 miles per gallon. I don't see how that's possible. I don't see any way that's possible unless maybe you're traveling down a hill or a mountain range or something and you're coasting for miles and miles, and maybe you reset the gauge and get it to show some big number. Has to be what some folks are doing, because at 17.3, I'm nowhere near 31 for sure. Now, is that a problem? It's a truck. I mean, let's be honest. If you were expecting to get high gas mileage or better fuel economy, you probably should have gotten something like this, which is a Tesla, of course, or any of the myriad of other vehicles out there that get really, really good fuel economy. Number two, rock chips. There have been numerous complaints about rock chips on the new Tacoma. Matter of fact, let's just group it all together. Paint inferiority, I guess. Paint on the new Tacomas is not good. That's what everybody claims. It's thinner, it's a different type, doesn't hold up well. Rock chips, particularly down the sides of the truck, and seems to be concentrated mostly in this area here, maybe even a little bit on the edge back here, and even down the doors themselves. Of course, that would be from the tire throwing things down the side, right? Now, I will say that I have to disagree, probably because of what I've done, but I don't seem to have those issues. And yeah, the truck is dirty. I know it's hard to tell right now, but I don't have a breakout of chip problems myself. And I think it's because of the rock rail, the sliders, whatever you want to call them. I think anybody that has steps, anything that can block rocks and stones from flying down the side of the truck is going to have a much better go of it, right? Of course, if you put mud flaps on, which by the way, you'll notice I do not have mud flaps. I'm not a fan of mud flaps. It's really just a personal preference, aesthetic thing for me. But I do believe the slider itself, or sliders, stop the rocks from hitting back here, and I think they're taking the brunt of anything that might fly off of those front tires. And by the way, I do have an offset that gives me a bit of wheel poke, you may have noticed. So my tires are actually pushed out even further, and that means I have more chance, I think, to throw things back rather than just bouncing around inside the fender well. I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky, maybe I got a super strong paint job on my truck, but I don't have those problems. Next up, and I'm starting to see this one more frequently, rodent damage. Rodent damage, particularly under the hood. Let's go ahead and pop mine. It's the first time I've had it open today. Nothing popped out, so that's a good thing. Always check areas like the intake area to make sure nothing's building nests anywhere around there, whether you have aftermarket like I do or even the stock intake. Then it's always a good idea to check in and see if you have any issues with your wiring. Has anything been chewed on? Has anything look like it's been damaged? I mean, you have exposed wires here, you guys could see, and there are of course wires everywhere under the hood. And it'd be quite easy to see, you guys would see if I had any kind of chewing going on or anything weird like that. Nothing under my hood. Now, I will say we do have mice and probably more so rats here. I see them all the time. We live on a river or near a river, so we're gonna have all kinds of extra critters, right? I don't have any problems. I don't do anything to try to keep them away. I don't put mothballs under there or any kind of deterrent or anything like that. And my truck spends its life outside. I don't park it in the garage, so anything that wanted to get in it wouldn't be an issue for them. I will say I do have cats that love to jump on top of my truck. I have cameras, of course, and I can see when the cats climb up here and run around on the hood. And by the way, if you ever notice any little scratches or anything like that on your hood, could be due to cats jumping up and kind of grabbing, you know, they extend those claws when they jump so that they can stabilize themselves. That could be your problem. Next up, if you have manual seats, the ghost seat. What I'm talking about is the seat that seems to lower itself. Yeah, my truck is dirty inside, I know. But the seat that always seems to go down. I hear comments about this with people that have manuals all the time. The problem is, and you can even see the grooves in here from me doing it, but when you slide your rear end in and out, your leg or your rear end slides across the bar here, pushes it down and lowers the seat. It is a bit of a design problem, I think, with Toyota. I think they should have put this further down so that this hard plastic would take the impact of your rear end. But nonetheless, that is the issue. There are no seat fairies or ghosts or anything in the truck for sure. Next up, this happened to me recently, and there are lots of problems with the radio, particularly connectivity, Bluetooth, Android, Apple phones and things that don't stay connected or won't connect. Black screens, white screens. I had a black screen in mine most recently. I fixed it by resetting the radio. If you don't know how to do that, just hold down the volume button until the screen goes black. It will reset, and hopefully that'll solve your problem. I've only had it happen once, and so far so good, no other issues. Lastly, we got to talk about the gas gauge. I see lots of comments out there about the inaccurate gas gauge on the Toyota Tacoma, meaning it doesn't show the proper number of miles available to be driven after you fill up, or it doesn't show the proper, I guess, fuel economy. And I see this a lot, 8 miles a gallon, 80 miles a gallon. I kind of think that's just more people messing around, but there have been some complaints about it, particularly when it comes to range, how many miles you get when you do a fill up, and it doesn't seem to be accurate, doesn't update right. I think that's more the way that Toyota has it set up. It's not really a problem. It's just that that's how Toyota calculates, and you kind of have to wait a little while. Anyway, those are the most common problems that I'm hearing about. So if you're in the market and you're wondering, is there anything wrong with the Tacoma? None of these are deal breakers for me. They're more annoyances, and let's face it, every vehicle out there has some sort of an annoyance. It certainly wouldn't stop me from buying the truck again. Leave a comment. Let me know if I left anything out. I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.